Ops 4. It's a little wet, but that's okay. How much you getting on this?
5.
What's up, everybody? Murr here, and welcome back once again to Flea Market Flippin'. Hey, before we get started, I'm going to need you to go ahead and drop a like on this video. And if you haven't already done so, I'm going to need you to subscribe to the Emceemur show. Be a part of what we got going on here. And it's a lot, right? We're out today. We're hunting again. It's cold. It's crisp. Things are bustling. There's people everywhere. There's going to be some action. You know we're getting something today. I'm seeing DVDs, I'm seeing Blu-rays, I'm seeing toys, and I'm seeing collectibles. There's stuff to look at, right? Now all we gotta do is come up on some gaming stuff. This table is just a mishmash of just crap. There's just random stuff everywhere, but there's an Atari flashback system sitting here, a 9, which is the most desirable of the flashbacks for many reasons. And yeah, you know, I'm a sucker for plug and plays. He's got it marked at 10 bucks, but I don't want to pay 10 bucks.
Would you take 5 for it? Alright.
Well, that was easy. 5 bucks. I wish all negotiations were that easy. We're getting this thing for 5 bucks and it's complete. And you know, I've had people write into the show on the videos we've done on these things in the past talking about these have been hard to find and they still want to get them, or people are still out there looking for them. There's still a demand for these things. We did a huge to-do on the channel about modding these things, adding the ROMs to them. Another collaborative effort we did with none other than Big John at Gen X Grown Up. He was a huge help on that project. Again, if you haven't checked out Gen X Grown Up yet, I'll put a link to them right here. You gotta check these guys out. They got some big stuff coming down the pipes over there in the way of Atari. But anyway, yeah, we added over 1,000 ROMs to this thing, and it was so cool to see what that consisted of. You know, stuff I'd never played before, mainly homebrews and things I'd heard about but never actually got my hands on. So cool. Either way, man, my addictive personality when it comes to plug and plays, I couldn't leave this here. The Atari Flashback 9 standard model unfortunately gives up a lot of amenities that the gold model featured for not that much more money. Less games, no wireless controllers, and worst of all, AV input instead of HDMI. But it retains the most important feature, the ability to add ROMs. We added over 1,000 ROMs onto R9, which included super fun homebrews, surprisingly functional, great to see. We had an amazing response to the series on the channel, and you know, it really grew the channel. If it's cheap, even this basic model is totally worth picking up. I paid $5 for this Atari Flashback 9, and it sells for around 35 bucks. So I'm walking around and I'm diving into all the DVD buckets, right? Because I'm hoping some games will jump out at me. There's a couple in this bucket and they're marked $1 each. This is one of those deals where, do they know they're games? Do they think they're DVDs? I don't know. We may have something going on here. I'm going to tell you, Grand Theft Auto 5 is worth picking up for $1 no matter how you find it. But here it is, and it's got both discs, but the play disc has a friction burn on it. That'll buff out though. I'm not worried about that. I do see a copy of Alias here for the original Xbox. That's not a game I'm familiar with. I think that was a TV series, but yeah, it's just a curiosity. For $1, I would like to see what's going on with this. The manual and the disc are in really good condition. As for the rest of the stuff, it's pretty much just cheese, but I'd like to make a play on these.
You get $1 each on these?
$1 each is in the DVDs.
Yeah, that's where they were.
And the games is $3.
$3, yeah, no. That's not what the sign said, and that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, los juegos son a $3.
The games are $3.
Well, they're also friction burned. That's not going to play until somebody resurfaces it, so I wouldn't do $3 on that. I'll give you 2 apiece for them, but I'd have to repair them.
I mean, you know this thing doesn't work, right? I mean, the kid knows. He's the one that friction burned it, right? He's over there backing her up. $3. No, we're going to do 2. And that's only because I can fix it. But, okay. Yeah, we'll take both of these for 2. I'm happy with this grab. We score copies of GTA 5 often on the show. It's one of the best-selling games of all time, and it continues to be hot. It's the final realization of the ultimate potential of this franchise. Now that said, you don't want to overpay for Gen 7 versions of the game, but in this instance, I definitely didn't. Alias was a TV series 20 years back, and I don't recall ever watching it, but at a glance, this game looks good. The cutscenes and animations are sharp, definitely on par with what we expect from original Xbox. This is evidently a stealth and action mix-up, and it may be worth a playthrough, it just really isn't worth much money. I have $2 a piece in these games. GTA 5 will trade at Gamestop right now for $12 with the current promo, and Alias sells on average for around $8.
No.
Oh, look at this thing.
No, la semana pasada vi unas tan hermosas. Bueno, sigo trayendo, no termino.
So apparently we're not done at this table. Here's one of those clone Super Joy 3, knockoff plug and plays. Here we go with plug and plays again. And again, talk about another unit that I've had a successful series on in the past. We've looked at these before. I mean, if this is cheap, I don't want to leave this one here.
How much you asking on this thing?
$5.
$5?
This is brand new. Okay.
Yeah.
It's totally been open. The seal's busted on it, and the wires are all jumbled up in there. You can see it's been unbundled. Whatever, right? It's $5. Now, the risk is in, we don't know if this works or not. In fact, there's a pretty good chance that it probably doesn't. But God, $5, good price, plug and play. That's my weakness. I can't leave this here.
No, I see.
You take $5 for it?
Yes.
Okay.
These 76,001 bootleg units are just a curiosity to me. Sure, the emulation ain't great, but they all seem to come with different builds. You never know what the game lists contain. You'll get all the favorites like Contra, with variations starting you with different power-ups. That's where they get the 76,000 figure from. It's all modified repeats of the same games, and weird Super Mario Bros. Versions, and there's even a light gun attachment for Duck Hunt and other shooting games. Another cool feature is the cartridge slot on the bottom of the main controller. If you don't have a Famicom or a converter, you can pop a Famicom cartridge into the bottom of this thing and play it. That includes the wacky and often cheap off-brand Famicom multi-carts out there. I paid $5 for this plug-and-play unit, and if boxed and complete, and this is, they sell on average for about $40.
Let the games out. Woof, woof. It looks like dog shit. Oh, now here we go.
So here's a seller I deal with from time to time. She gets games in, and there are some games here that weren't here last time. Fight Night Champion is sitting here. Such a great game. I mean, probably the best in the franchise, and it's so desirable. Why? Because it's backwards compatible on the One, making it a must-have for anyone that doesn't already have this game. And there's a nice looking GameStop edition of Assassin's Creed 3 here. And why is that exciting? I mean, by the numbers, it really isn't necessarily, but I've been wanting a copy of that for the shelf, and this is also backwards compatible on the One. I skipped over 3. I've been meaning to go back and play through it. Here's my chance to do it, hopefully, on the cheap.
Is that the game?
It is.
The games are 2 apiece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hot coffee? I heard that.
All right, $2 a piece. We'll take it. It's apparently a $2 game day at the market here. But yeah, one that's going to have a little bit of value to it and one that I wanted for the shelf. I'm happy with this. Fight Night Champion may be the best in the franchise, boasting a robust campaign mode and continuing on with the stunning graphics and the greatest fighting engine ever to grace a boxing game. Its only fatal flaw is that skewed difficulty. On normal mode, it's ridiculously difficult. On easy mode, every fight is a pushover, and unfortunately, there's no in between. But it offered online play, and with backwards compatibility on the One, this game is still a must-have. I realized there's a remaster of Assassin's Creed 3, and I got it for $10 years ago, and I ended up flipping it. I passed on 3 at its original launch because I just wasn't an AC guy at the time. I didn't get on board till Black Flag, pun intended. I always wanted to go back to this one though, and now I can for super cheap. I have $2 each in these games. Fight Night Champion sells for around $18. Assassin's Creed 3 only sells for around $7, but I plan to hold on to this one.
How much y'all asking on the Wii?
Oh, that's fine.
I just don't have the other.
He's asking 24, sir.
20?
So there's a Wii here, okay? But it's an incomplete Wii, and I'm so tired of those. But, I mean, it's partially the Wii's fault, right? The thing had so many parts, and no one ever has them all. So hopefully we can get this for a good price if we can. There could be something hidden inside the Wii. You know, we luck out on that sometimes. And other than needing the covers, it's in decent shape.
Yeah. I mean, I'd give you 10 for it.
Alright, I'll take 10.
Okay.
So we're getting it for 10 bucks. We're getting in it right. You know, that gives us some room to work. We can get some scavenged parts, hopefully on the cheap. In fact, I stopped by my parts guy on the way out of the place and was able to get a real nice Wiimote for $6. So that's a big part of it, right? That's the controller. You gotta have that. So we're only in this thing 16 bucks. It's not going to cost much more to make this a nice functional bundle again and hopefully get top dollar for it. I gotta say, I'm happy with what we got today. So all in all, not a bad day. I gotta say, I'm happy with the things that we got. Not the biggest day we've ever had, but we got some cool things. I'm kind of amped about that plug and play. I always like to look on there and see how one model differs from the other. We used to do some cool community live streams of those too. Maybe we could do another one of those in the future. Let me know in the comment section if that's something that you would like to see. We used to have some real fun on those things and just kind of discover things on them together, go through the playlist, see what all games are on there. I don't know, something fun to do, but some cool things, a couple of keepers, and then we've got some things that are obviously going to put some profit back into the bankroll so that we can keep these adventures happening each and every week. So much more stuff out there to find. You know, I'm going to try to find each and every last bit of it, and I want you on each and every adventure with me. So much more to come. I hope you liked this video. I hope you're going to drop a like on this video. And most importantly, if you haven't already done so, I need you to subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of Mer Nation because we're rising up all the fantastic things we do right here on the show. You need to be a part of it. Make sure that you smash that notification bell so you're always the first to know when new content goes live. New content just like this flea market video right here. You know, there's a lot more of them coming. We got a long winter ahead of us, but hey, we're going to find cool things during a cool season. Emceemur signing off for this fantabulous episode, and I will see each and every one of you again next time. Bye.